supernatural tales come from. I'm about to begin a journey into the belly of a beast that has no body. In this film, I'm going to hell and back to find the truth behind demons. Demons have been with us forever. Every culture since the beginning of time has feared these disembodied evil spirits that vex the world. But today, we're beyond all that. Surely. A couple of years ago, I saw a TV show about exorcism still happening in Italy. What you're about to see is unique. It's a verified recording, not a reconstruction. Sit back and watch a demon possessing a human being.
Nel nome del Padre, del Figlio e dello Spirito Santo. Gesù Cristo, Figlio di Verbo eterno Padre, Dio universo.
According to her parents, 16-year-old Martina has suffered from possession for 10 years. No one could help her but the exorcist.
È di Cristo! È di Cristo! È di Cristo! Ecco l'acqua del Signore. Il demonio esiste o non esiste?
Esiste il demonio!
Come fa a dimostrarlo? Come fa a dimostrare che esiste?
Le guerre, tutto!
Ma questo...
Io esisto! E chi non ci crede bene?
Ma questo...
This apparently is the most famous and best documented case of Beelzebub ever coming to Earth. Reading about Beelzebub's little visit, it seems he slipped into our world through the fragile body of a French girl named Nicole Aubry. But what the Lord of the Flies would do to that body would rock the Christian world. I've come to Laon to see the eyewitness accounts of Beelzebub's reign of terror. What is this?
These are all copies of the official account that was commissioned by the King of France at the time in August 1566, contemporary with the events, or shortly after the events.
This is 500 years old.
Yes, about, yes.
She wasn't terribly attractive.
Well, no, at this point she wouldn't be, because she was disfigured by Beelzebub.
Yes.
Here her back is arched right over. She would arch over backwards, which is an incredibly difficult thing to do, so you couldn't see her. Here she's being held down. Every time she was, in fact, superhumanly strong, so that several men had difficulties keeping her down.
How old was she?
She was 16. She was already married. Her husband and her family were present throughout.
I asked Irena to translate the story for me from the medieval French. And what a story it proved to be. The drama you're about to see uses the exact words spoken at the time. On November the 3rd, 1565, Nicole was alone, praying at the tomb of her maternal grandfather, Joachim Wio. His spirit entered into her and spoke to her. He claimed to be in purgatory, still with certain vows unaccomplished. He asked Nicole to have a pilgrimage made to St. James at Compostela.
On the 2nd day of December, about the 8th hour of the evening, some of the family saw that the girl began to behave strangely and was then taken by terrible convulsions.
Nicole said she had fits because her parents hadn't done the pilgrimage yet. Not wanting to spend the money, her parents had just pretended to go. Nicole was not deceived. Her parents completely freaked. According to Irena, clairvoyance is one of the first proofs of demonic possession. I got the alarm bells ringing. It's the first of the 6 steps in an exorcism. Her parents asked a Dominican monk, Pierre de la Motte, to call forth the spirit.
Quand es-tu entré en école?
Dès que j'ai quitté mon corps.
Unable to comprehend what was happening, they took her to her local church and waited for help. January the 4th, 1566, Jean de Bord, the Bishop of Laon, arrived, determined to get to the bottom of this increasingly strange case.
Croyez-moi, je vous dis que je suis son bon ange.
Menteur. Tu n'es pas un bon ange. Qui es-tu, malin esprit? Qui es-tu, malin esprit? Quel est ton nom? Quel est ton nom?
Je suis Belzébuth.
The fame of her possession spreading, Nicole, or should I say Beelzebub, was paraded through villages until she was brought here, Laon Cathedral, on the 24th of January, 1566.
They went to Capernaum, and when the Sabbath came, Jesus went to the synagogue and began to teach. The people were amazed at his teaching, because he taught them as one who had authority, not as the teachers of the law. Just then, a man in their synagogue who was possessed by an evil spirit cried out,
What do you want with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God.
Be quiet. Come out of him.
The evil spirit shook the man violently and came out of him with a shriek. The people were all so amazed that they asked each other,
What is this? A new teaching and with authority.
He even gives orders to evil spirits, and they obey him.
News about him spread quickly over the whole region of Galilee. As soon as they left the synagogue, they went with James and John to the home of Simon and Andrew. Simon's mother-in-law was in bed with a fever, and they immediately told Jesus about her. So he went to her, took her hand, and helped her up. The fever left her, and she began to wait on them.
Thank you.
That evening after sunset, the people brought to Jesus all the sick and demon-possessed. The whole town gathered at the door, and Jesus healed many who had various diseases. He also drove out many demons, but he would not let the demons speak because they knew who he was. Very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went off to a solitary place where he prayed. Simon and his companions went to look for him, and when they found him, they exclaimed,
Everyone is looking for you.
Jesus replied,
Let us go somewhere else, to the nearby villages, so I can preach there also. That is why I have come.
So he traveled throughout Galilee, preaching in their synagogues and driving out demons. A man with leprosy came to him and begged him on his knees,
If you are willing, you can make me clean.
Jesus was indignant. He reached out his hand and touched the man.
I am willing,
he said.
Be clean.
Immediately, the leprosy left him, and he was cleansed. Jesus sent him away at once with a strong warning.
See that you don't tell this to anyone, but go. Show yourself to the priest and offer the sacrifices that Moses commanded for your cleansing as a testimony to them.
Instead, he went out and began to talk freely, spreading the news. As a result, Jesus could no longer enter a town openly, but stayed outside in lonely places. Yet the people still came to him from everywhere.